Hi, I'm Kathy Jaskolski from kathyjaskolski.com, and today I'd like to talk about the physical poses or practice of yoga and my love-hate relationship with the physical poses. About 25 years ago, when I started doing yoga, I was so fascinated with the graceful movement and flow of the poses, and as it was woven into the breath, and then as it was also laced with the grace of the divine. And I just became obsessed. I couldn't do it enough. And shortly thereafter, I knew that I wanted to teach yoga. But there was a pretty important glitch that happened. And what that was when I was at teacher trainings, I would find that there were these poses that were considered like the pinnacle pose that made you a yoga master. And they were pretty challenging. And it was hard in my body, and I often found that I was in pain the day after, or I just felt exhausted. But in the name of being a great teacher, I just kept pushing through. One of the ones that I remember the most is my attempts at headstand, which is considered the king of yoga poses. So it's the pinnacle of all pinnacle poses. And I would rise, honestly, every day for a year, early in the morning at the crack of dawn, and I would go to the wall and attempt this pose. And my husband will witness that he could often hear my foot slamming up against the wall, or he would find me in a crumbled like pile with another failed attempt. But even after I mastered it, and was able to do it, it never felt easeful or right in my body. And I just kept ignoring that. In yoga, one of the main commandments is AHIMSA. And that is to live every moment of every day with reverence and love for all. Now, what I found is that was fairly easy for me to do in my teaching, but I wasn't being kind to myself on the mat. What I'm excited to say is it took a number of years and lots of experience for me to begin to practice in a way where I really listened to my body, softened, and didn't push so hard. And what I found when I started doing that was I came away from the yoga mat like really feeling fulfilled after my practice, invigorated and balanced. Yeah. So one of the most important lessons that came up for me in all of this, which I knew all along, but it's so much clearer in the wise years of my life, is that yoga is so much more than mastering an individual pose. And what I've also learned along the way is a deep reverence, respect, and gratitude for the body that I inhabit. Yeah, the body that I inhabit. And so if you'd like to learn more about how you can practice AHIMSA on your mat, I invite you to visit my website, kathyjaskolski.com, to see the offerings that I have available. With deep gratitude for one of my most important teachers, my own body. Namaste.